So hey guys, this is CCMKB Productions here to bring you their first video review. Today we're going to be reviewing Duke Nukem 3D for the Xbox 360 downloaded off of the Xbox Live Marketplace. So Duke Nukem 3D was one of the older first-person shooters. It was made by id Software. It came out in 1996, 2 years after the original Doom was released by id Software. And id Software also created Wolfenstein 3D, and it came out in I think about 92. So yeah, it really started off first-person shooters. You can thank them for that. So yeah, Duke Nukem 3D came out in 96, so I'm going to start off by talking about the graphics. If you are somebody who just doesn't play a game because it has bad graphics, then for one thing you don't need to be looking at these old games. But second, you really shouldn't play Duke Nukem 3D. Today it really doesn't look very good. Most of the models are very outdated. There's some detail in there, but it's really not a very good looking game by today's standards, but you know, you don't really expect it to look very good. I'm not really going to rate this game down for the graphics because, again, it came out in 96 and it looked really good for its time, actually. If you look up older reviews from GameSpot and those kind of places, you'll see that they really praise the graphics for this game. So next I'm going to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay here is actually very good. It feels more like an actual first-person shooter than Doom did, mostly because you can actually look up and down, and you can jump, and do all that stuff. You're going to be jumping places, doing a little bit of platforming to get to some places. The gameplay is really good. There are lots of guns. You'll have shotguns, RPGs, you'll have a shrink ray to shrink the enemy and stop them. You'll have your regular pistol. Really, you get a lot of guns in here. And it's not very hard to find ammo for them either. You'll get ammo mostly from killing the enemies. Like if you kill one of the pig cop things, I'll show you a picture of them. They always have shotgun ammo, so you'll see them pretty often. There are lots of aliens that you're going to be fighting against. And it's really, the shooting feels pretty good, but somehow it doesn't feel like the main part of this game. Duke Nukem 3D came out at a time where shooters didn't hold your hand, and it wasn't just about completing the level. You're going to have to do a lot of things to get to the end of level, other than just killing the enemies. The enemies are mostly like a little obstacle that you're going to have to deal with, but your main goal here is to find these key cards and open doors in order to get to places and solve little puzzles. So you'll start off in a level, and the door you need to go through is going to be a red door, and you're going to need a red key card to get through it. So you're going to have to search every little nook and cranny in this level to find that red key card to open the door, which often when you get into the red door, you're going to need to find a yellow key card in there to open the yellow door, and you just keep going on and on until you get to the end of the level. Today, if a game came out like that, it wouldn't be very good. It can be forgiven, though, in that game, but it's hard often to find these key cards because they hide them in places where you're actually going to have to look really hard for them. You can't just see them somewhere. They'll be hidden in a secret door thing or in a little crack in a rock or something. That's where you have to find them. You might have to blow something up to find one, and you're going to have to search all over the place to find it, and sometimes you're going to get stuck in this game because you can't find the cards. It's not really that bad. It's a lot like the original Doom was set up. This is mostly how all first-person shooters were. You had to find a key to continue through the level. But it really would have been nice if they could have just made it a little easier to see these cards and find them. Like in one of the first levels, you'll find a bar and there's a key card hidden in it. But you're gonna have to find this little tiny door in the back of the bar. It's not really a door. It's just like a little opening, and you can open that up and find a key card to go through it. It's kind of confusing. I really don't like that part of the gameplay, but that's kind of how first-person shooters were until Half-Life came out, in which you're actually going to be trekking through. You have an open world in Half-Life, but you don't have to find these little hidden keys in order to continue, so it's much more realistic when Half-Life comes out in those games. But before Half-Life, you had the Duke Nukem 3D type of gameplay that was invented when Wolfenstein came out. Wolfenstein 3D, at least.